Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn about classes and phrases, finite verbs and non finite verbs. Classes. What is a class? A class is a group of words that contains both a subject and a predicate. There are two types of classes. They are independent class and a dependent class. So a class is a group of words first of all. So which contains both a subject and a predicate. Okay, what is a subject? The person or the thing which does an action is the subject. Okay, what is a predicate? So what the subject does, that is called predicate. Predicate is nothing but what the subject does in a sentence, that is called predicate. So in a class we can find a subject and a predicate. There are two types of classes, independent class and dependent class. So within the two types you can find the meaning. Independent class means that can function of its own, that class can function of its own. Dependent class, it has to depend on something, so that it is dependent class. So in the types itself you can find the meaning. So below that you can see the examples for independent and dependent classes. For example, Karagatam is a popular folk dance which is performed during village festivals. So here there are two types of classes. Karagatam is a popular dance, that is independent class, which is performed during a village festival. Okay, so this, if you take this part which is performed during village festivals, that is that class has to depend on the independent class. Karagatam is a popular folk dance. So without the independent class, Karagatam is a popular folk dance. The dependent class, which is performed during the village festivals, cannot function of its own. So dependent class needs the help of independent class. Okay, so in independent class you can find the subject and the uh, predicate. What is subject? Karagatam is the subject. Then the rest of the words in the sentence is a popular folk dance is a predicate. Okay, likewise there are other there are two more examples also we have given you. The parts are decorated with a cone that has flowers in it. Okay, so independent class, dependent class. What is dependent class? That has flowers in it. Okay, the meaning is incomplete, and even though it has subject and predicate, it verbs and everything in the sentence, the meaning is incomplete. It has to depend on the independent class, so that it is called a dependent class. And as the independent class does not need to depend on anything, so that it is called a independent class. Skilled puppeteers manipulate the puppets that they pull. So here also you are given what is independent class and dependent class. The whole village celebrates when there is a Tiruvila. So what is dependent class and what is independent class? When there is a Tirula, that is a dependent class. Independent class, the whole village celebrates, that is independent class. So independent classes are complete sentences. They can stand alone and express a complete thought. Okay, so they can stand alone. They do not need anybody's help. So it can function of its own. Examples: I need a book. Mary prefers coffee. Ram is a good volleyball player. So these are the examples for independent class. Dependent classes, so it has to, even though it has a subject and a predicate, it does not function of its own. It does not stand alone. It needs something in order to fulfill its meaning. When it is raining, because you were late. After you go to school, you is a subject, go is a verb, go to school is a predicate. Even though the phrase after you go to school, a subject and a predicate, it cannot function of its own, because it gives incomplete meaning. So independent classes are complete sentences, dependent classes are incomplete sentences. There are some other main types of dependent classes. What are they? Adjective classes and adverbial classes, noun classes. Okay, so what is adjective class? Let us see one by one. Adjective class. What is adjective class? It describes or gives more information about a noun. So normally adjective is a word which gives extra meaning, additional meaning to the noun, that is called adjective. Here also an adjective class gives extra meaning to the noun. If something gives, if a class, if an adjective if a class which gives an extra meaning to the noun, that is called adjective class. For example, the book that I left. Here, what is the noun? The book. For that, it is given some additional meaning. What is that? That I left on the bus belongs to Mr. Bhaskar. Okay. So, in this way, we can see the example. An adverb class. What is adverb class? Which describes or give additional information about the verb. So, a verb noun பத்தி ஒரு class வந்து additional meaning கொடுத்தா that is adjective class. Verb பத்தி ஒரு class additional meaning கொடுத்தா அது adverb class. So, for example, she was happy because her father gave her a watch. Okay. So, here because her father gave her a class, that class, with that class it is explained the explained or it is given additional information about the verb, so that it is called a adverb class. Third one, noun class. It takes the place of a noun. Okay, it takes the place of a noun. For example, this is the best route that I know. So best route, that is a noun. Route is a noun that is taken place by the word this, so that it is called a noun class. Phrases. A phrase is a group of words. What is a phrase? Before we learnt about classes, now phrases. Phrase is nothing but a group of words, but forms a meaningful unit, but it is not a complete sentences. Only we can find words, so which convey some meaning but not the full meaning. In other words, it does not have a subject or a verb. For example, so in phrases there is no subject and verb. For example, the black cat, blown away, in the wind, during the weekends. Okay, these are all the examples for phrases. So we can get some meanings in all the phrases, but we cannot get the complete meaning. Okay, so that it is called a phrase. So there are some other phrases also. Noun phrase. So it is given some examples for noun phrase. What is noun phrase? A noun phrase is a group of words made up of noun and it is and its modifiers. Okay, white car. So noun வச்சு மேக் பண்ணப்பட்ட அது noun phrase. White இருக்கிற modifier white அங்க. The word white is acting as a modifier. Teacher is a noun. The word English is acting as a modifier. Shop is a noun, or the bookshop. Okay, so here these words are acting as modifier. So if a phrase is made up of noun and its modifiers, it is called a noun phrase. Next, prepositional phrase. What is that? A prepositional phrase is a group of words that begin with a preposition and help to explain the relationship between two things. So in order to explain two phrases or two words, or which connect two words or two phrases, then it is used prepositional phrases. On the boat, over the tree, in the school. Okay, here it is made a connection between two things. Here the prepositional phrases are very helpful to connect or to explain the relationship between the two things, so that it is called a prepositional phrase. Okay, this is about, my dear students, phrases and classes. Now let us see about non-finite verbs and finite verb. What is that? Very simple. What is a non-finite verb? It is a term used to describe verb that does not indicate tense. Tense na enna time. So if a verb indicates, it does not indicate, then it is non-finite verb. So what is finite verb? Very simple. If a verb indicates time, then it is called a finite verb. So finite verb, non-finite verb. Non-finite verbs have no subject and do not change according to the tense or number. Non-finite verbs are broadly classified as follows. Okay, so non-finite verbs don't have subject and do not change according to the tense or number. What are they? There are something in non-finite verb category. What are they? Gerund. Okay, So first gerund, walking is a healthy habit. So here present participle. What is present participle? Just if you add an ing with the verb, it is called a present participle. Here present participle is used as a noun. Okay, but there is no subject. And I like to walk. Here it is used as to walk is an infinitive. Okay, so நமக்கு காமனா என்ன படிச்சிருப்போம், ஷார்ட்கட் மெத்தடில் வேர்புக்கு முன்னாடி டூ போட்டால் அது டூ இன்ஃபினிட்டிவ் படிச்சிருப்போம். ஓகே, டூ இன்ஃபினிட்டிவ் கம்ஸ் அண்டர் த கேட்டகரி ஆஃப் நான் ஃபைனைட் verb. It does not change tense or number. ஓகே, டைம் சேஞ்ச் ஆகாது. அதில் நம்ம என்ன டைம்னு கண்டுபிடிக்க முடியாது இன்ஃபினிட்டிவ்லையும் ஜெரண்ட்லையும். ஸோ ஐ லைக் டு வாக் ஏர்லி இன் த மார்னிங். To infinitive is comes under non-finite verb category. Present participles also. So what is present participle? If just ing with the verbs are called present participle. Past participle. What is past participle? So having plus past participle. Having plus past participle or past participle. For example, if you take the verb go, then the past participle of verb go is gone. Okay, in this way, gerunds, infinitives, present participle, and past participles, all these come under non-finite verb categories. Infinitives and gerund. So two verb, adding two before a verb is commonly called infinitive. Adha nama common infinitive solrom. So it can infinitive can act as a subject. It can function as a subject. To swim is a good exercise. Object, I like to swim. So an infinitive can act both as a subject and object. Subject avum act pannum, object avum act pannum. Infinitives may be used without to, and we call such infinitives a plain infinitive or bare infinitive. Infinitive வந்து to இல்லாமலும் act பண்ணும். They are called bare infinitive or plain infinitive. Example, she made me do. So here before the verb do there is no infinitive to, and the to infinitive illa. So here it is acting as a bare infinitive or plain infinitive. Okay, so here it is given a list of verbs before which there is no to infinitive. We cannot use before to. The infinitive may function as a subject, direct object, subject, complement, adjective, and adverb in a sentence. Although an infinitive is easy to locate because of the to verb form, deciding what function it has in a sentence depends on the meaning. So subject direct object subject complement adjective adverb infinitive la act பண்ணும். ஒரு infinitive இவ்வளோ ரோல் ப்ளே பண்ணும். சப்ஜெக்ட் ஆக்ட் பண்ணும். Sometimes it may act as a direct object, subject, complement. So to everything it is given examples below. To wait seemed foolish when decisive action was required. So here to infinitive is acting as a subject. Everyone wanted to go. It is here to go is acting as a direct object. His ambition is to fly. It is acting as a subject complement. He lacked the strength to resist. Here it is acting as an adjective. We must study to learn. Here it is the infinitive. To learn is acting as an adverb. So gerund. So what is a gerund actually? An action word which ends in ing form. That is gerund. Walking, going, liking, swimming, jumping. All these ing words which end in ing are called gerunds. So before winding this class, you have to remember some points. A gerund phrase consists of a gerund plus modifiers, object, and a complements. Oh, okay. So infinitive and gerund is nothing but. Okay. So student, this is what about phrases and classes, finite and non-finite verbs. With this, let us wind up this session. Let us see the rest of the lessons in the next videos. Thank you.